Talk a little bit more about the case for supporting Israel in its adversarial relationship with Iran, to the point of, I'm sure you're implying that Israel would carry out the attacks against the nuclear facilities.
Well, the Islamic Republic has to believe that Israel would be unconstrained in the region. Again, when you see the regime's fears in the region, you want to play up those fears rather than try to spend time and political capital to constrain those fears and change Tehran's impression of American policy or of Israeli policy. You should play to those fears to foster constraint and restraint in Iranian behavior. And one way you do that is by leaving Israel's hands open. One way you can do that very recently is by expediting the KC-46 aerial refueler to make sure that if Israeli jets need to go back and forth, they have the capability to do that. Most recently, the Israelis have struck further away in Yemen than even in Iran. The distance between Iran and Israel is about 1,400 kilometers, give or take. The distance between Israel and Yemen is about 2,000 kilometers. Israeli jets were able to do that. So all of these things, plus more public military drills, to their credit, like the Biden administration did under Juniper Oak, that simulate an attack.
Tell people what Juniper Oak is.
Juniper Oak is a massive military drill by the U.S. and the Israelis that was designed to simulate an attack on a facility that looked like Iran's nuclear facilities.
Well, I think Israel has done quite a lot with American weapons over the last 14, 15 months. While I am pleased to see the Assad regime fall, I would say that what Israel has done in Gaza and Lebanon constitute war crimes.
But I understand you feel passionate about that, but it doesn't address the case of a policy decision to support Israel in an attack on Iran.
I think it would be wrong. I think the United States is already complicit in many, many civilian deaths in the Middle East, and I think the U.S. would be roundly condemned by the international community. What would be the exact justification for this attack in international law?
I'm not an international lawyer. I don't know if anyone else on the stage is.
It would be a preemptive
or preventive
strike. Sure. You know, I think the U.S. is already in hot water in terms of its support for Israel and Israeli actions.
What do you think would be the consequences for the United States of supporting Israel, and if Israel goes ahead and carries out a strike?
The U.S. would be then opening itself to attacks by a variety of Iran-backed groups in the Middle East. They would go after remaining
already.
U.S. forces, after U.S. embassies. Iran would attack Arab countries that are allies of the United States, would probably go after Saudi oil facilities again, would lead to a catastrophic increase in oil prices. I mean, mayhem would ensue. You don't know what the consequences would be. You never can know what the consequences would be. I think it would be reckless.